Hello and welcome to the first lesson in creating healthy boundaries. What does it mean to have healthy boundaries? In the previous module, we talked about the importance of asking for help. As we've said before, in this new phase of your life, being able to confidently ask for help when you need it is going to be important so that you can have a pregnancy and transition into motherhood as gently as possible. As you work to develop the skill of asking for help, you may find that some people will offer their help voluntarily or provide advice or share their own experience. Maybe you'll relish this new attention, but maybe you won't, and that's okay. In this module, we're going to talk about how to create healthy boundaries so that you foster healthy relationships with the people around you. Let's first talk about what I mean when I say healthy boundaries. Before I talk about what a healthy boundary is, I first want to talk about what it isn't. Creating boundaries is not about shutting people out and turning people away. It's not about creating walls around you and not letting people in. Creating healthy boundaries is about having relationships around you that support and fulfill you. It's about creating peace around you so that you don't feel overwhelmed. It's about feeling safe, grounded, and in control of how you interact with people. Creating healthy boundaries are sort of rules that you can create for yourself and how you interact with others. Having this framework helps you manage these relationships from day to day, because if you don't set the boundary, someone else will set them for you. I want to spend a bit of time talking about why this process is so important. First off, you're going to find that something strange happens around you now that you're pregnant. For some reason, people all of a sudden feel they have the right to force their opinions and advice on you. They can also get this uncanny confidence to ask you whatever question pops into their head about you, your body, or your plans. Up until now, you may not have experienced this weird phenomenon. You may have been able to live your life in relative peace. But when you get pregnant, things can change. People may ask to touch your belly, ask you about your body, your plans of how you're going to raise your child, and on and on. You may be comfortable with this. Perhaps you'll revel in this new attention. But what I want to talk to you about in this module is what to do if you don't. I also want to talk about the importance of creating these healthy boundaries sooner rather than later. Up until now, you may not have felt the need to be proactive about creating boundaries because many times the annoyance may have been short-lived. You may have had an overbearing mother-in-law when you were planning your wedding. You may have had people make comments about the clothes that you wear or the car that you drive. Those things were short-lived, and there is a beginning and an end to the event. This journey that you're now on is for the long haul. This is not a one-and-done situation that you're in now. The sooner that you create these healthy boundaries with the people in your life, the easier it will be down the road. It's much easier to set expectations now than if you let things go on without speaking up. The idea is that you want to create healthy boundaries now so you don't have to put up walls or sever any relationships. So how do you know if you need to create a healthy boundary? You may already know who you need to create healthy boundaries with. One thing I'd like you to be cognizant of is how you feel when you're around other people. If you're noticing that your anxiety rises or that you're feeling uncomfortable or overwhelmed, that's a signal to you that a boundary needs to be addressed. So if you're feeling uncomfortable when someone asks you if you're having a boy or a girl, if they ask you how you're going to deliver, if you're going to breastfeed, if you're going to stay in your job, or if you start to feel anxious when someone asks you how long you're going to take off for work, that's when you want to have some strategies in place to help you create the healthy boundaries that will put you at ease. I get it. The idea of creating healthy boundaries in and of itself may make you feel uncomfortable. That's okay. It's really a work in progress for everyone. I just want to give you some tools and some strategies so that you can work towards having healthy and fulfilling relationships with the people around you. Before we get into the actual tips and tricks in the next lesson, I again want you to reflect on your current experience of creating healthy boundaries so that you can identify where you may need to work on this. I've created a worksheet again that asks you some of the questions on where you are today. So grab maybe some water, some tea, find a quiet space, and start to reflect. Good luck, have fun, and see you on the next one.